Adobe Professional can offer some nice flexibility for how you can present reading material to students. In this example here, I'm going to show you how you can use some documents from the curriculum guide that are in a PDF format, pair that with Adobe Professional, which many of you have in your schools, and create both a document that can be read with a text reader, such as Natural Reader, for students to highlight and click a read button, and also some ways for you to embed some prompts and to give some background knowledge and possibly to ask comprehension questions that are embedded in the document and students can respond right there. So first of all, when you open up a PDF from the curriculum guide, a lot of times you have a lot of pages and you need to get those down to just the pages that you want students to interact with. And one way you can do that in Adobe Professional is by choosing Document, Extract Pages, and then you'll choose how many of these pages you'll want to extract. And it's going to create a separate file from the curriculum guide PDF that you can just pull out those documents that you want students to interact with. In this case, I've already done that, but if not, I would choose, let's say, pages 1 to 4, and that would pull out just those 4 pages into a separate document that then I could save in my documents or on staff shared, and then eventually moved over to the handout folder so students can access it. So once I have my document, the next thing you need to be aware of is that if you have Adobe Professional and you've created it if it's been created correctly, you should be able to highlight any text and have it read aloud with a text reader like Natural Reader, which is a tool that's available in all schools and also a free download for home.
Directions. Answer the following question in a multi-paragraph essay.
And with Natural Reader, you do have a lot of flexibility with controlling the speed, and some of the high quality voices that are already on your computer you can select at school. So if you're not hearing the high quality voice, you can scroll down and change it from something like Microsoft Mary to one of the VW voices, which are of higher quality. You can also control the speed. So that sounded a little fast, so I'm going to slow it down just a little bit. Click OK. And there are a number of quick guides and video tutorials on Natural Reader on the Hyatt website. The other thing that you can do, in addition to providing some flexible supports in having students have the option of a text reader, is you can add comments anywhere in the document to prompt students to think about something or for them to answer questions. You can also embed a hyperlink to something else. And so let's say I wanted to add a note here that I wanted students to have the option of opening up. I'm just going to click anywhere in the document, and then I'm going to click Comment and click Add Sticky Note. That's going to pick up a dialog box. And when I click on the small icon, it'll minimize it, and then I do have the option of moving this around, so I'm going to put this right at the end of that paragraph. And when I minimize it, when students pull it up, they'll just see the document, and they'll have this bubble note here, or comment, that if they hover over it, they can see the comment, and if they can read it on their own, that's fine. If they need to use a text reader, though, they can double click on it and have it pop up, and then I can highlight it.
Remember the methods we discussed Friday in class. There were 5.
And then they can minimize it again and continue reading. Now the nice thing about this too is as students are moving through a document, they can have these comments embedded there. But they can also use this as a response tool, because anywhere in these comments, if they click on them, they can actually type in there. Now you're probably thinking they're going to type right over my comments and then other students can't benefit from them. But the reality is that you'll most likely put this in a handout folder, and by putting it in the handout folder you'll ensure that students can't modify the document and save it back to there. So everyone will be interacting with your original document. However, if you did ask a question here, Students could then type in their answers, and then when they go, they can save the document, and they'll do File, Save As, and they would just save the document, the PDF document, back into the the hand-in folder for your grade and their teacher. And that way you would have their answers embedded in the document. You can also extract these as well. So if you have comments in there and you want the students to just pull out the answers to questions that they've created, you can do track review, show comment list. And you'll see that it both has the comments that the teacher has added. The other nice thing that you can do is once you get your comments extracted, you can choose to print those and create a separate PDF document, or you can just print it right to the printer and turn it in. But let's say I wanted to create a PDF of my comments summary. I'll click on that, and then I'm going to select Comments Only because I don't need another copy of the PDF with the readings in it. And then I'll click Create PDF Comments Summary, and you'll see that it's pulled up my comments that include both my teacher notes, but also whatever I wanted to type into in response in any of those notes. So this can be a way for students to generate something to hand in that shows their comprehension. It can also be something that they can use to create and access a study guide to help support them. So those are a couple ways that you can use some flexible options in Adobe Professional. That again, Adobe Professional is not the same as a regular Adobe Reader.